The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
It's a double main event! Throw me a frickin' bonus here.
This is the main event, Mark's Bonus Podcast. I am your first host, lifelong wrestling fan, former radio guy, cat dad, and the director of Podcast Authority. I am Troy, and with me as always is the main event collector and figure hunting warrior. He's the WWE Walking Wrestling Encyclopedia and the Sting to my Jeff Jarrett. It's Greg. What's up, Greg?
There's people sleeping in the house, so I can't yell at showtime, but you get it.
Yeah. Wake their ass up. Come on.
Well, one of them was like over 60, so no thank you.
Yeah. Right. I don't know about you, man, but every, grandmother, aunt, everything, I other than my actual mother, they're all like, oh, other people are sleeping in the house? I don't care. I'm going to be as loud as possible. I don't know why that's a thing, but yeah, every single one of my aunts and my grandmothers have done that. It's like, oh, I got chores to do, and I'm going to do them loudly.
Can you vacuum later? Nope, needs to be done now.
Yeah, right. I
always feel like that's the loudest thing you can do in a house when cleaning.
Yeah, it's definitely one of them.
How are we in 2023 and they've not come out with a quiet vacuum yet? We can do everything else technologically, but we can't get a quiet vacuum. You ever notice that?
Yeah, right. Well, I bought a vacuum in the last couple of years, and it's the loudest MFer I've ever heard. How do they keep getting louder? It sucks. But either way, something else that sucks.
And blows.
This show we're talking about, man.
How dare you? I thought this was a phenomenal piece of crap.
You turned it around in the end. I like that. Okay. Because you were losing me there for a second. Then you turned it around. You brought me back. All right, I got it. I like that. But yeah, man. I
apologize, everybody. I will be seeing Troy in a matter of months. I will be slapping him for all these horrible shows he picks. Don't worry.
You know what, man? We've been over this. All right, crap sells.
What does that tell us about our fan base?
That they're weirdos. But you know what? They're our weirdos. So I love them. And we have a decent amount of full-time subscribers at this point. So thank you.
And we love you all. Yeah. I am being 100% sincere. My hand to God. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, we love you all. This is this is something, man. Why do you keep listening for this? I don't understand it. You
like those teenage girls and all those 90s dramedies where they hate them, get pissed or something, they cut themselves.
Oh my gosh. It all comes down to screw you, Dad.
I hate my father.
But yeah, thank you all for sticking around. I really do appreciate it. We love you, we appreciate you, all that good stuff. So
appreciate us.
Yeah.
That's where remind us that the stars are in the channel originated right there.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Anybody listening that it was ever a TNA fan, I don't know. Greg and I talked about our TNA fandom. Not at this point.
I love TNA.
If this was the TNA that I was tuning into at the beginning, I would have shut it off and never turned back in. Ever.
Yeah, that would have did it. It's no 2007.
Yeah. Now in the archives, by the way, the entire pay-per-view catalog from 2007. So go check it out.
The greatest year in TNA history.
Yeah, not necessarily because of the pay-per-views, but just on the whole, I feel like 2007 was pretty good. But either way, this was 2003. We're going to be covering their first anniversary show. They did 2 of these anniversary shows until 2005 when they actually held their very first ever Slammiversary. Not sure if we covered that one in the archives, to be honest with you.
I don't remember if we did. And we did, you'll still book it. So what difference does it make?
We have not done that one. We've done 06 and 07, 2012, 2013. We have not done 2005, but...
So you say.
Hey, I'm looking through I save all of my notes. I just don't usually look through them when I do the booking. So, but yeah.
Well, peek behind the curtain, guys. Past couple of months, like 3 times. Crap, we got to pull an audible. We already did this show.
Yeah, one of them you actually watched again. So
Yeah, that's why you're getting that first slap in Detroit right there.
yeah.
That's a big
Well,
one.
Hey, Great American Bash 2000, man? It's right on the level with this. Come on, greatness.
Yeah, but you made sure to pivot to a show close enough to it.
Exactly. I don't even remember what the hell I replaced it with, but
It wasn't that Nitro from 2000 in July or June?
you replaced it actually because I bumped up Great American Bash 2004, and then you suggested 1990. So
Oh, I think I win that one. Okay.
yeah, just a bit. But that actually aired earlier this week. If you want to go check that out. How dare you not like Great American Bash 2004? A man died, bro. Died and gone forever.
It's funny that you're not joking.
Yeah.
And he didn't really die on the show. People know that. People think I'm sick.
Yeah, well, no, he didn't die on the show, but he died, I guess, like we were led to believe he died in kayfabe, and then he was brought back and killed as many times as Kenny on South Park. So
You killed Paul, you bastard.
I think if Paul Bearer was legit still alive to this day, they would still be bringing him in for that stuff. Hey, Paul, it's about that time of year again. You want to come in and die? Like,
Good Lord, man.
well,
This is a
now
real thing. You're not even being funny.
Yep. But anyway, time to get into this though. We're gonna take our first break. We don't have a lot of news and notes to get to, but the stuff we do is interesting. There are 2 deaths right off the bat. By the way, I got to get into pretty major in the wrestling world deaths right here. Both
I
of
know
them.
one of them, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the other one you might know the name if I say it, but we'll get into that. It was a freak accident death, so it was nothing to do with drugs. So I don't think we have one story that's like loosely, I guess a couple stories that are loosely involved with drugs, but I mean it's wrestling, so there you go. But a lot of people quitting, a lot of people getting hired, a lot of people, wrestlers being wrestlers, man. But first, I do want to tell everybody about the sponsor of the podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by Mahler Bros Golf. We all want to look good on the golf course, but it often comes at the expense of feeling good. Mahler Bros Golf has polos that look good and feel good. With their lightweight and stretchy material that hugs your body, you will feel cool while looking just as cool. Their polos are guaranteed to make you look better, but it's up to you to golf better. On a hot summer day on the golf course, there's no polo that you would rather wear than Mahler Bros Golf signature polos. Mahler Bros Golf has a large catalog of polos with designs for those who want a loud design and others for those who want a subtle and sleek-looking design. They also have fun t-shirts, hats, tumblers, and so much more to make your golfing experience better. Use code BELLYUP at MahlerBros.com for 15% off. Mahler Bros doesn't just have polos, by the way. They have really fun golf t-shirts that you can wear anywhere. Maybe like that barbecue that your family invited you to, or even that get-together with your friends. Maybe a night out on the town if you want to have fun while looking good and also impressing the local ladies. Make sure to let them know where you got that shirt and wear it proudly. Don't wait to try out your new favorite golf apparel. Upgrade your golf attire with Mahler Bros. Get 15% off at MahlerBros.com with code BELLYUP. That's 15% off at MAHLER Bros.com with code BELLYUP. Turn heads on the golf course or wherever you wear Mahler Bros polos. Mahler Bros Golf. Look good, feel good, play good. Now we're going to get into our first break. On the other end of this, we're diving into the news and notes. Follow the Main Event Marks at Facebook.com/Main Event Marks Pod, on Twitter at Main Event _Marks, and on Instagram at Main Event _Marks and at Main Event Collector.
Get ready to rumble! in your new Main Event Marks merchandise. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, masks, hats, stickers, pins, and much more on our Redbubble store. That's maineventmarks.redbubble.com. You can also pick up some awesome clothing items with the latest updated show graphics on our Bonfire store. That's bonfire.com/store/main-event-marks. Support your favorite retro wrestling podcast and pick up some cool swag on our Bonfire and Redbubble stores. That's maineventmarks.redbubble.com and bonfire.com/store/main-event-marks.
By God! Somebody's interrupting the Main Event Marks! Sit down, JR. It's just me, Kyle Sullivan, aka Shaggy Von Doom, your host of Here in Puckburg on the Hockey Podcast Network. I know, a hockey show on the Main Event Marks. Who would have thought? This is an invasion angle. Somewhere between the Nexus and when WCW tried to invade WWE, somewhere in there. But I'm over here just telling you that one half of your tag team champions over here, Greg, he told his story of his love for the game of hockey over on my show. And if you'd like to hear that story, all you have to do is search Here in Puckburg wherever you get your podcast or on YouTube. In the meantime, Shagamania's got to go run wild on some other hockey show. So, just remember, quote the Raven, nevermore, take your vitamins, say your prayers, and oh yeah!
Main Event Marks are available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. Find all of our links on our link tree at linktr.ee/Main Event Marks.
And we're back.
We're back.
If you're tuning into a wrestling podcast to hear about wrestling and you want it gimmick and politic free, you probably want the same out of your products. Are you ready to ditch the gimmick coffee? Coffee Brand Coffee is fresh roasted to order using only the highest quality coffee sourced direct from farms around the world. They've got bagged coffee as well as K-Cups. Not into coffee? Well, they've got great teas and cocos as well. At Coffee Brand Coffee, their head coffee roasters have mastered the art of unlocking flavors hidden inside their beans. Each batch is custom crafted and curated to accompany unique flavor profiles. Click on the link in the podcast description or go to coffeebrandcoffee.com and use our special promo code MAINEVENT, all one word, at checkout to get 5% off your order. That's coffeebrandcoffee.com and use the promo code MAINEVENT to save 5% at checkout. I don't have any cans to crack today.
Me neither. I'm just drinking bottled water.
Yeah, I'm drinking water with lemon in it. It's supposed to be healthy for you, I guess. Trying to be more healthy today. Drinking shakes and lemon water. Good for me, I guess. But all right, well, I guess it's time to get into the news and notes. Let's hit it.
That is correct.
Shut the fuck up, Dave.
Everything that guy just says bullshit.
There you go. Yes, I mean, we should laugh right off the bat because these first two stories are pretty tragic. Bringing the mood down right away. Woo! But on June 2nd, classy Freddie Blassie died of heart and kidney failure at the age of 85. His death was announced by Jim Ross 20 minutes into that same day's episode of Raw.
Wow, man. As recording this, it's exactly what happened on Dynamite with superstar Billy Graham. Like 20 minutes in, hey, we just got word.
Yeah, it
Wow.
really sucks. Obviously, like he's a big legend, and I'm going to try to remember the good stuff about him, from his wrestling career. It's like, they're like, we're going to announce it on Dynamite. Meanwhile, I didn't watch the show, but I assume Adam Cole was on there somewhere.
He was on that very segment.
Yeah, so there you go. The guy Superstar Graham literally said he should probably take some steroids to beef up.
Said that about Kofi Kingston too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Because you know what would make Kofi Kingston better? Roids. I get you could say like Adam Cole has like no muscle like definition or anything like that. He's just kind of skinny and usually pretty pale. But
Fishy white.
Kofi Kingston's always been in really good shape.
And I'm gonna say Kofi Kingston's never really been pale, but
you don't know. You don't know his life. Maybe that's just a really good tan.
I don't think that'd be a good tan. I think you might have overdid it there, dude. But
Yeah, he sat out a little bit too long. Multiple times. But either way, yeah, Freddie Blassie had a lot of health problems towards the end of his life. So
I think he was relegated to wheelchair, right?
I believe so. I know he walked with he carried that cane around for years and he didn't actually need it. There for a while, I think he really did need it.
On the contrary, he didn't. He needed to beat up some pencil neck geeks.
Exactly. Yeah, Freddie Blassie, man, he was in his day. He was a major heel. He went over to Japan and was like the top American heel over there, taking on like Ricky Dozan and whatnot. The Japanese heroes. And he got stabbed countless times here in America, I guess, and all over the world. And according to Bruce Pritchard and others, they said he wore that like a badge of honor. He'd show off his scars, be like, "Yeah, I got stabbed in such and such arena right there." It's like, yikes, man. I mean, that's some heat, but I don't know if I'd. It's like I don't know if I want that much heat. F that, man. But this
Get
is
more money based on it.
I mean, if you got that much heat, people will book you to keep coming in. So, I mean, I guess so. Same thing with Cornette. He said that him and the Midnights had, white hot heat there for a long time, to the point of where they were getting attacked and stuff like that. So,
Beautiful Bobby, sweet Stan,
Little Boy Dennis, Midnight Express, motherfucker. Anyway, this is the other death I was talking about. So Zane Breslov, who had been one of the leading live event promoters in wrestling over the past 2 decades, is in critical condition in the intensive care unit in a hospital in Denver. Breslov was driving in the Rocky Mountains when his Ford Explorer rolled over, causing him to be thrown from the car. He was yeah, not pretty. He was life-flighted to the hospital, where he suffered numerous internal injuries. It is believed a fractured pelvis severed the several veins and arteries, and the surgeries were held up until the internal bleeding could be stopped. He ended up dying at the hospital on June 20th. Breslov began promoting for WWF in 1984 and switched to WCW in 1994, believed to be a major factor in WCW's success in the mid to late 90s.
So yeah, I definitely know his name because Bischoff mentions him at least once a show.
Yeah. I guess he had some heat with him a couple points, but I don't know if that lasted
Yeah, what else is new?
very long. Yeah, I know. Bischoff has heat with everybody. Bischoff has heat with his mother. But yeah, I don't know. That was one. I guess he did play a pretty major role in, promoting the product, and I don't know if I think he booked some of the arenas because he knew the people personally in the arena.
That's business. That's why they were always in Mississippi, because he was from there.
Yeah, that one I don't know. But yeah, he apparently played a big part in it. They talked about him in the Nitro book by Guy Evans. And Uncle Dave, that was one thing. He was like, well, now that when they thought they were going to restart WCW, Uncle Dave was like, well, now that Zane Breslov is gone, I don't think Eric Bischoff is going to do a damn thing. And we didn't really get to see, what would come about of that. But I don't know. It was supposedly a big factor. So, yeah, that's a freak accident, man. You roll over your Ford Explorer in the mountains.
That sounds fake, really.
That sounds scary as hell. And
that sounds like something you make up in like a movie or something.
Yeah, the fact that he was thrown from the car, though, it's like I assume he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, which it's dumb not to wear a seatbelt normally, but when you're driving through the mountains, dang, man. I drove through the Smoky Mountains in North Carolina and Tennessee, and I'm white knuckling it the whole time going around those corners, man. I'm watching my surroundings, seat buckle on tight, or seatbelt, whatever, buckled tight.
Mullet tight?
Oh, hell yeah. About as tight as Eddie Guerrero's mullet in the early 2000s, man.
Hell yes.
Kurt Angle is actually ready to return to SmackDown after radical surgery speeded up the process of his broken neck healing. Angle's surgery...
It's going to happen.
Yep. Angle's return has been heavily built up on SmackDown, and all the vignettes that have aired seem to indicate that Angle may be returning as a babyface. WWE officials are still debating over how to bring Angle back as a face or have him return as a heel. Vince McMahon would like Angle to return and go back to feuding with Brock Lesnar, culminating in a main event at July's first SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. In fact, with the heel roster pretty much weak on the SmackDown side, it seems pretty logical that Angle will go back to his heel roots. However, a solid faction of WWE officials would like to see Angle built on a positive reaction, on the positive reaction, rather, that he got during his WrestleMania main event against Lesnar. In fact, the vignettes hyping Angle's return have generated a positive reaction from fans in attendance. Are these the Beautiful Day vignettes?
All that's true.
Right.
No, that was Triple H. I think this was
not Beautiful. Clocks, wasn't it?
Clocks, yeah.
Yeah, another damn cold. Or well, never mind. The other one was YouTube.
No, the other one's a good band.
That is correct.
I'm sorry. If you like Coldplay, you're a kind of white that even I can't reach. All right. I've met one person in my entire life who actually liked the band Coldplay and bought their albums, like full albums, and it was a female.
Paltrow?
Well, she does like terrible things. So
I think she was married to the lead singer.
Yeah, she was. You're right. And you want to talk about chewing your foot out of a bear trap there, man. Although on that one, who was chewing their foot out of what bear trap? Or was it both of them? Both of them seem fairly insufferable. She's selling candles that smell like her gooch, and he's making this kind of music. So there you go.
But she looks like that.
Yeah. Well, hey, I don't know. Maybe he's a pretty man. I have no idea.
I can't even picture him in my head right now, so I couldn't venture a guess.
Okay, when I say nerdy white guy with blue eyes and dirty blonde hair, that. Yes. Whatever you pictured in your head right now.
That's me without the blonde hair.
Oh, wow. Well, either way, yeah. So that was his. They had the vignettes, like mostly like it was some black and white footage and like him prepping in the ring and like working out solo and whatever while they played Clocks by Coldplay. And didn't they bring him back as a babyface for like a minute?
Yeah, everything you just said was not bullshit.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
All that happened.
Yeah. So he comes back and feuds with Lesnar again, but as a babyface.
Yeah, and there's somebody else in that match too. I want to say it's the Big Show, maybe.
Oh, it's the Big Slow. You were right, by the way. It's Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, and the Big Show. So I guess that means
that is correct.
Yeah, so there you go. And I don't know. I kind of liked this era of Big Show, but
those stupid pants on.
I didn't hate it as much as other people did. I don't know. It was different. I don't know, whatever. But he was like, they treated him like a big deal for like a couple of months, and then he went back to just being, oh yeah, he's really big. Whatever. So it really didn't do much
lazy
for him.
book.
Yep. And they passed around Paul Heyman like I'm not gonna make an analogy. I can't come up with a cleaner analogy than the one in my head. But either way,
Are you gonna say a pack of cigarettes in a prison?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, well, okay, that one's cleaner.
Wow, what were you thinking?
It involves Ladies of the Night.
I didn't say it.
I kept it clean.
Direct your tweets at Main Event Marks. You will know that's the name of the show. That's the one TJ runs. So,
hey, I kept it clean. All right, and they get paid for it. All right. I don't know if that's respectable or not, but they get paid for it. Either way.
Right now, you're like one of those kids that's dancing around when he has to pee. You're trying to get out of it.
Yeah, a little bit. Speaking of trying to get out of it, as of April, WWE had severed its relationship with Jeff Hardy. The rumor is that NWA-TNA are already trying to sign Hardy to a contract. It's not known if Hardy is even interested in signing or able to sign with another promotion. Before being released, Hardy was approached by WWE officials twice in the past 6 months, talking about quitting because he wanted to concentrate on his music. Until the mutual release, WWE wanted him to remain with the company because they felt that he was crucial to the teenage female demographic.
Yeah.
That is correct.
But I don't remember him going to TNA during this time. That was later.
He does go. I don't know about this time right here, but he does go.
Pretty sure he goes in 2004. I remember correctly. Yeah, so it's like, what? Did he just go home for a little bit? Bro, go home, bro.
We know he didn't go to rehab because F that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything. 2002, 2003. Oh yeah, he did leave. Okay, he went to Ring of Honor. That's right.
Wow.
Okay.
I would have never guessed that. Okay.
Well,
So we've had two stints in Ring of Honor. Okay.
yeah.
He's years
Well,
old.
When he went to Ring of Honor, he used that Will-O-the-Wisp gimmick. So, yeah. But he was at Death Before Dishonor wearing a mask and a trench coat. And he was in a triple threat match against Joey Matthews and Crazy K.
Who the hell's Crazy K?
Let's see. Kirby Mack is some little white dude. I don't know. I have no clue. But yeah, so he unmasked during the match, lost his jacket, being left in an attire similar to the one he wore in WWE. Because of this, he was booed before, during, and after the match by the Ring of Honor audience, who chanted, "We want Matt," and "You got fired."
Wow. Nobody's ever chanted that first one.
Yeah, right. Like, you what? What?
You
You've got
are
Jeff.
aware that this is the one you want, right?
Right. I will say, Matt later went to, see our recent Ring of Honor show, Supercard of Honor. Matt did a little bit in Ring of Honor, and they tried to make him mean something, but yeah, no, Jeff was clearly the bigger star. Still is to this day.
Yeah, like when
I don't know.
he came back at Dynamite a couple weeks ago. Matt Hardy's trying to soak up some of it. It was funny. They're all cheering, like they're throwing the babies in the air for Jeff, and you see Matt kind of celebrating like he has anything to do with this. It's funny. Throwing his hands in the air. Yeah, we're back. And then Jim Cornette pointed out he could have come out there and hugged like I forget what he said. He said something like really bad. He goes, they would have cheered the hell out of him. They didn't give a damn. They just want to see Jeff. Like, and Matt's like, oh yeah, because he hugged me. That means something. Like, shut up, dude.
Yeah, you could have come out like what Bischoff, I think it was him, said about Ric Flair. He's like, he could have came out lighting puppies on fire and stomping them out. Nobody would have given a damn. All eyes are on Jeff, man. But
I'm sorry, Matt. I'm not crapping on him. I don't dislike him, but you're not Jeff. Let's be real.
yeah, I've always loved Matt, and I thought like during his version 1 stint, I thought that was cool. I didn't totally hate when he was wearing the tights there for a little bit and he went heel.
You're an MFer.
Yeah, but yeah, I remember this specifically because I had a friend at the time who watched Ring of Honor, and this moment kind of before going viral was really a big thing. This moment really did go viral in the internet wrestling community because people were like, dude, Jeff just got booed out of the building. Like from the moment he stepped in the ring, they booed the crap out of him. I'm like, damn, that's weird. But yeah, so he was on the independent scene for a little bit. I think this is the only match he did in Ring of Honor because he got booed so damn bad. And then he kind of floated around until he went to TNA in 2004.
So that company's fans would rather see the Necro Butcher than Jeff Hardy. Just putting that out there.
I'm wondering what amount of Ring of Honor fans actually wanted to see that, and how many CZW fans like squeezed their ass in there, like, oh, I want to see this idiot.
That no one ever.
CZW fans did, which that says a lot about their personal taste. So do with that what you will.
They've now converted to GCW fans.
Yeah. Well, either way, somebody else that was gone right about here. Jamal from 3 Minute Warning has been released. According to Wade Keller, his reputation in the locker room is that he was cocky and didn't do enough to protect his opponents in the ring. Jamal had been on the bubble ever since a nightclub incident that saw him getting arrested after threatening a police officer who was attempting to remove his wife from the club. Yeah. That's the smartest move. By the way, he is the first of 2 members of that family who kind of swelled up to a cop and got arrested for it. You remember, at least 2. You remember that was a thing with Jimmy? Like he got pulled over for DUI and took his shirt off like he was swelling up to the cop. Like, dude.
Come on, you get released for fake piss or something like that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, like a drug test. Like I'm using fake piss or something like that.
Oh, God. But, yeah. Jamal, for anybody that doesn't remember, did get hired back in later on as Umaga.
Umaga.
He kind of left his cousin, Matt there, a.k.a. Rosie, kind of left him high and dry. Like,
yeah, he went on to do something, though, at least. So
yeah. Yeah, he went on to be Grimace.
Went on to be literally called shit.
Good God.
And that's not a euphemism either. Go look it up. Superhero in training.
Yeah, I like how that was the joke. Oh, he's a superhero in training. The SHIT.
Gotta point out, by the way, Russo's not on this channel.
Yeah. Good grief. He got a WrestleMania moment, kind of, when The Rock is going backstage and like talking crap on people.
It's his family member, right? He called him a pat some bitch.
Yep. People that don't realize that's Roman Reigns' older brother, by the way. Unfortunately, he's since passed, but
sad man. Hurricane was over his wildfire. He couldn't even get him over.
Yeah, right. You got to believe if he was still alive today and he could get himself in good shape, he'd be part of the bloodline, or at least pop in every once in a while.
Oh hell yeah, he'd be in Solo's role.
Yeah, the enforcer. Well, hey,
which I still believe is Jacob Fatu's role. Just he's not there.
Yeah, right. He needs to get his ass there quick. Well, hey, the Usos got another brother waiting in the wings, man. So
it's like a damn factory in Detroit for cars, pumping them out.
Yeah, right. I think they said Rikishi had like 6 or 7 kids. So there you go, man. WWE returns to Oregon for the first time since 1993. They hadn't been to Oregon in years due to stringent regulations on both wrestling and boxing, along with intensive drug testing for all licensed wrestlers. Linda McMahon actually admitted that WWE avoided going to any state really, that had independent drug testing, but claimed that it was because of the way that they did HIV testing. What? How did they do it?
Dirty needles? I don't know.
Don't they just stick a needle in your arm and test your blood? Okay. Anyway, she also noted
I got nothing to hide, but I ain't getting no needle stuck in me. I'm good.
Well, it's like I understand. Like, if I was a wrestler and I'm like, and they said, "Oh, everybody's going to be tested for HIV," I would be like, "Hell yes, do it. I'll give you my blood. Whatever. Just as long as I know that the guy I'm getting in the ring with doesn't also have HIV. So I don't want him.
That sounds more important in boxing and MMA, though, to me.
Right, but things happen. People accidentally bleed, and I don't know. But she also noted that they only went back when athletic commissioner Bruce Anderson was gone. Anderson had at one point threatened to ban wrestling from the state altogether. Yeah, because as we all know, Oregon has a lot of big events and great things coming in there to give them money. Might as well screw everybody over. Wait, you want to bring a money making event into Oregon? Well, you.
Pretty sure the Moda Center only sells out when Steph Curry goes there.
Yeah.
Those guys never drew a dime.
I keep forgetting, by the way, that they do have a professional sports team. Who the hell remembers the Blazers? I guess if you're in their division, I imagine people in their division forget about them half the time.
We go with the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, well, that's college. That's that's the one I always go to. I think about the Ducks, but everything else, it's like, do they have a pro sports team? Who the hell wants to go to Portland?
I went there once. It wasn't so bad.
Well,
not much going on.
Oh well, yeah. Christian has been asked multiple times to change his look and has refused, but the recent prospect of an Intercontinental title run seems to have convinced him to finally cut his hair.
Yep.
And it's about that time, man. I guess.
And he would never go back. That long hair.
I mean, he's one of them where it's like, I was just like, yeah, he's got long hair, whatever. I didn't think about it. And then after he cut his hair, I'm like, he should have done that years ago. It looks so much better. The long hair
now he parts it over like a damn Bugle Boy calendar in the 90s.
He's trying to be fashionable, man. Trying to stick with the times, He's got his short hair and his fashionable clothes while he's out there insulting people's dead parents and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because apparently that's his gimmick now. Like he just stood up in the locker room. All right, I want to take a survey. Who has a parent that's dead? Okay. What are their names? I want to call them out by name in my promo.
He did it to Wardlow, Jungle Boy.
Wardlow, good guy. That's not even like a common one where it's like, oh yeah,
That's what he's on right
where it's like, oh yeah,
That's what he's on right now. Yeah.
Effing stupid. Oh, well, like the Jungle Boy thing, like his dad was a celebrity. I'm not excusing Christian doing that. I'm just saying like people know, Wardlow, it's like that one you had to like find out, man. You had to look that one up. Which makes me think like in kayfabe, would he be sitting there Googling? It's like, oh, he's got a dead parent. I can mark that down for later.
Yep.
God. And I'm going to call his other family members who are females. I'm going to insinuate that they like giving it up.
This is not MJF, folks.
Nope. Whatever. He's getting paid, I guess.
That's just 5:00 on a Wednesday for MJF.
Yeah, right. I don't think NJF can say anything that's not offensive at this point. But
discuss force.
Well, moving on to somebody who's it's like, oh, he didn't leave yet. Damn. Nathan Jones recently threatened to quit the WWE and head back to Australia.
Oh no!
But was apparently talked into staying by John Laurinaitis. You know how he talked him into, You know how he talked him into staying? Hey there, Nathan. I see you're looking awfully vascular today. If you stay with WWE, I'll oil your pecs for you.
I'll give you a free didgeridoo.
I'll give you a boogie board, so when you go back to Australia for a visit, you can really get down with them waves. Cowabunga, dude.
Holy crap. Oh my god.
That's what I'm imagining. Like, I don't know. It's
he would stay, well, at least for the rest of the year. So.
Yeah. The rumor was that he offered him more money. I don't know, like, apparently they did not. Hell if I know. But Bruce Pritchard talked about that. He didn't necessarily say that Ace didn't do that, but he did say they did not give it to him. So, because to your point, why? Like, that was his whole thing. He was like, hey, you want to quit? How about I give you more money? Like, no. Like, why were you... sorry to use a pun here, but it's like, why were you jonesing to keep this guy? Like, what did he ever do that made you think, you know what, marquee star right there?
Oh, he had a cool accent? I don't know.
He had a good look, bro. That was about it.
But then...
And then that damn bell had to ring. Oh, God. Anyway. So, the Road Warriors worked a dark match before a SmackDown TV taping, but it's likely that WWE will pass on them. And they do. According to Bruce Pritchard, that whole thing, the only reason they gave him a dark match is basically just as a, come on in. We'll take a look at you, just to be nice.
So what changed a couple years later to get Animal back?
Hawk's dead. I don't know. Like, you could argue at that point he's less valuable.
I would say that, yeah.
I like Animal. I like Hawk.
In the nicest way possible, I would say that.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's worthless, but it's like people don't care about Hawk or Animal. They care about the Road Warriors. Emphasis on Warriors with an S.
And also, it's a well-known fact that Hawk was the one that people liked the most. Well, there's that.
Yeah, he was the one that got main event spots and stuff like that because he could actually, he could carry on a one-on-one match somewhat if he was in the ring with somebody who could kind of lead him through. But I don't know. Jim Ross went on record saying, you'll love this one. Jim Ross went on record saying that Dr. Death Steve Williams is being considered for a contract with the WWE.
In 2003?
Yes.
Why is he more valuable now than he was in 98?
Bro, he just never quit. He never gave up, which I guess...
And he was a charming sumbitch, apparently.
Like, Jim Ross is... Like, I can't fault him for trying to get his buddy a job. I can't. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But hot damn, you think Dr. Death in 03 is going to be valuable to Vince McMahon? Give me a break.
I don't even think he was in 98 personally, but...
No. God, this is just yikes. Although Pritchard said, well, I can't really fault him because he said, I kind of did the same thing with Michael Hayes. Every time I had an opportunity, I was like, well, how about Michael? And he said for years, Vince was like, no, quit bringing it up, damn it. Then finally they needed a commentator interviewer, and he's like, Michael Hayes would really be good here. He's like, fine, give him a call.
Yeah, but there's a huge difference between him as an announcer / booker and a wrestler, though.
Right. Yeah. Because if you're bringing Dr. Death in to wrestle in 2003, yikes, man. I'll say that you might be able to get a novelty match out of him and Lesnar or him and Angle, and then he's spent. Like, what the hell else are you going to do with the guy? Well, something I can think of something to do with this. Tori Wilson's issue of Playboy has sold well over 1 million copies at this point.
Be right back.
Excuse me, I need to take a break. Yeah.
Bro!
Well, and I'm assuming that there were multiple copies purchased by the same people because they kept getting the pages stuck together, but that's
Holy
just
crap.
a guess. It's a good guess, okay? Anyway. WWE is
He is like still all the way live.
Yeah, that woman will never be ugly a day in her life. Ever. Ever, bro. Bro, boobs. Anyway.
Bro, TNA, bro.
WWE is actively negotiating with Carly Colon, son of famous Puerto Rican wrestler Carlos Colon. Carly, later renamed Carlito, would accept the offer and debut in Ohio Valley Wrestling on July 5th. So this moved pretty quickly.
And he would return about a couple weeks ago to this airing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was not a Carlito fan at first. Like when he first debuted, I was like, he's not like he looks dumb. His gimmick is stupid. Like he doesn't put on impressive matches. And they
gimmick.
Yeah, and they freaking strapped a rocket to his ass and shot him up. He's beating Cena, becoming the U.S. champ right off the bat. And I'm like, why?
Getting stabbed in the nightclub.
But then, I mean, it took I'd say a year or so. And then I really started getting into him. I'm like, damn, you know what? He's a talented SOB, man. Like, I still thought the apple spitting was kind of dumb and whatever, but at the same time, you couldn't deny he was damn good, man. And now he looks like $1 million frickin' bucks, man. Like he just lives on protein and his bedroom is a gym.
He de-aged.
Yeah, right. He's got one hell of a mustache. God dang it, pal. That's a hell of a mustache.
He's got an afro, too, that made a lot of black men jealous.
Yeah. I wonder what he uses on that. Afro Sheen or Soul Glow? Something like that. But, God, I keep doing segues for myself, because speaking of OVW and Soul Glow, Rocky Johnson was released from his training duties. This is because Johnson stopped going shortly after signing his contract.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Like, what the... God. When Pritchard was asked about that, it's like, so he signed a contract to be a trainer at OVW and just off? It's like, what happened? And he said, I think he thought it would be a good idea, and then he moved from Miami to Kentucky and was like, maybe I'll stay in Miami.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to move from Miami to Kentucky either.
No. There are parts of Kentucky that are decent. I don't know about Louisville, but yeah, if I was living in Miami, you'd have to pay me a lot of effing money to move up to Louisville.
It's pronounced Louisville.
Good God. So Sable and Mark Marrow have separated because Marrow didn't want Sable to return to the WWE, but she did it anyway. How dare you go where I'm not wanted? Apparently the thing was...
I completely forgot she came back.
Yeah. Hey, she was in that last show we just did. Not last show, but Great American Bash 2004. So she was there for a little while.
That blunder.
Yeah. She's actually on the pay-per-view poster for SummerSlam 2003. She's like in the buff, and her private parts are being covered by the SummerSlam logo. But yeah. WWE loved doing that around this time. Let's put a hot blonde on the poster, damn it. I mean, hey, whatever. It works. Sells beer, I guess.
Full tide.
Getting out of wrestling for these last couple of stories, were you watching UFC at this time or not yet?
I might have just started.
Okay. Because I didn't know if you knew anything about these ones. At UFC 43 Meltdown on June 6th, Randy Couture defeated Chuck Liddell in the main event via TKO.
Yeah, I watched that.
Also, Chemo Leopoldo submitted Tank Abbott in the first round.
It's just Chemo. That's all they call him.
Well, his full Christian name, all right? But
yeah, he sucked, dude.
Yeah, he did. Well, you and I talked about, like, he got out of, because you had brought up, you're like, oh, he got out just when they started being profitable. I said, yeah, because he freaking sucked, man.
He got out when it was not a freak show anymore.
Exactly. He couldn't beat up dudes smaller than him or other dudes who just walked in off the street with a pair of trunks.
Yeah, right.
Like, dude, it's not street fighting anymore, man. You actually have rules and regulations, and you fight in your weight class.
And
like,
you gotta have skill, not be the tough guy at the barbecue.
Yep. Well, it's like, I mean, you and I talked about, what was it? Hoist Gracie? That, he was so dominant, and then once they, started making it less of a freak show and less of a variety hour, basically.
Until he had to face Matt Hughes with rules and regulations, and Matt Hughes embarrassed him.
Yeah, and he could no longer wear his kimono, or not kimono, God, his gi.
Yep.
And apparently that pissed him off.
Which screwed Ken Shamrock out of a fight with him. I guess he got his foot caught in his gi and gonna do something and Hoist finished him, I think.
Right. And doesn't he just know karate, or is it?
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, that's his whole thing.
I always thought that Jiu-Jitsu was like a good fighting style. Is he just not?
It's more of a defense. Is really what it is.
So, like, basically, you got to know multiple things other than just Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. But yeah. So that's UFC for you. Last story I got. I just threw this on here because it was funny. Time Magazine ran an article on Bob Sapp. The tagline said, "A failed American football player finds fame and fortune in Japan by beating people senseless."
Yeah, starring in Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah, right. How broke did my nose? But the article refers to Sapp as, quote, one of the most fearsome professional fighters on the planet.
Yeah, I remember when Mirko Cro Cop broke his face. He was literally crying on camera.
Yes. Look, I can't say that. I mean, if I had my face caved in by Mirko Cro Cop, I'd probably cry too. Look at him. He's gigantic. Good God.
Well,
man,
Mirko
like
wouldn't have to try with you or me, but, just do it.
Right. He's like Godzilla, like, became a human. But it also talks about his massive cultural success in Japan. Yeah. I
think, a couple times this past couple shows we talked about how they just like all kinds of random ass crap.
Right. I specifically remember, I don't know what show it was on, but I remember seeing one of his, like, special entrances for a big Japanese show. And he's coming out in, like, he's basically dressed like a pimp, dancing with ladies around him, and they're playing like disco music or something, or some funk or whatever, and he's freaking getting it on his way to the ring. I'm like, what in the fuck?
I never saw you feeling him.
You've got a big, monstrous man like that, who just, you look at him and you're scared, and you have him dancing out like a pimp to some funk music.
I mean, they have him doing it. I mean, in MMA, I'm pretty sure you choose your own stuff. So,
I mean, he might have, but it's just like, why? And it's whatever.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, that was during the time when Japan was really heavy into, like, fake MMA, like Pancrase and stuff like that, where it's like, it's like worked MMA with a little bit of wrestling, like, whatever. But anyway, that does it for all of that. You ready to get into the event at hand?
No. But yeah.
Come on, man. This is some good stuff right here.
Good crap, pal.
Crap is right. But we'll get into our event at hand right after this.
Follow the Main Event Marks at facebook.com/Main Event Marks Pod, on Twitter at Main Event _Marks, and on Instagram at Main Event _Marks and at Main Event Collector.
Hey gang, it's Commissioner Cooper of TSS Fantasy. We are the fantasy show of the people. Expert fantasy advice, free contests, leading expert medical and legal analysis, and most importantly, you. Interact with us on all social media platforms or check us out at tssfantasy.com. You can hear us on Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and many more. Check out the fun today and be a part of the most interactive fantasy show around. TSS Fantasy, the fantasy show of the people.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan McCarthy, and I'm the host of the No Credentials Required podcast. Start your work week with the Monday Drop-In, where I talk about the sports beat in the Capital District, also known as the Mighty 518, as well as Metro New York sports from an upstate point of view. I also give a life lesson from a weekly sports story, so you might learn something from that. I also have a midweek podcast where I interview different sports personalities and talk about a wide array of topics. Take a listen and subscribe on your preferred podcast app, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Also check out our social media channels on Twitter and Instagram, BellyUpNCR, and Facebook.com/BellyUpSportsNCR. We're a part of the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network in association with Godzilla Media. No credentials required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Main event marks are available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. Find all of our links on our link tree at linktr.ee/main event marks.
And we're back.
We're back.
It's NWA-TNA's first anniversary show. Took place June 18th, 2003 from the TNA Asylum in Nashville, Tennessee. They crowbarred 1,000 people into this thing.
Crowbarred.
Making me think that if they only got 1,000 people in there, that means this place is slightly smaller than the ECW quote-unquote arena. Because that place would hold at least 1,200, I think. I don't know. But we open the show with a highlight package of TNA's first year while System of a Down plays. Yay.
How they get that?
Yeah. Well, and then this video looks like it was made with Microsoft Movie Maker.
You did.
Like
I
the
didn't think about
font.
that.
Yeah. Somebody gets the joke, Google it. Anybody who's listening to this podcast should know what we're referring to because you're old enough. But yeah. Psst, you're basic. Anyway, a white limo pulls up.
Helvetica.
A white limo pulls up outside. Commentary thinks that it's Sting, but out steps Shane Douglas, arguably a bigger star and a bigger franchise than Sting.
Well, he is the franchise.
Yeah, or in other words,
they never drew a dime.
But he says it's time to
Never
make some
drew a dime.
He says it's time to make some noise, and then he walks away. By the way, I realize there's a camera there.
I forgot to say something. Steelers. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I second that. What's funny is, like, I didn't think about this. Like, he steps out of the limo. The guy, like, opens the door for him and stands there, you know, and he gets
All
out.
formal.
And he's, like, making faces and cutting this really stupid promo, looking at the chauffeur.
I
and
smell
walks
the
away.
crap faces.
Right. And I'm thinking that chauffeur is probably like, good God, get out of my car. This first match, if you want to call it that, is a 6-man tag. It's Sonny Siaki, Don Harris, you know, one of the
one that
Harrises.
matters.
Yeah, sure. At least he didn't wear a Nazi shirt this week. But it's Sonny Siaki, Don Harris, and David Young versus Frankie Kazarian, D'Lo Brown, and the Sandman. In other words, who
If
whooped
you know,
this?
if you know who David Young is, you know who won this match.
Yeah, right. This goes just shy of 4 minutes. 3 minutes too long.
That's
So-
far too long.
We get the damn cage dancers up on the stage now. Oh boy. For the longest time in this match, Sandman is like walking around the ring. He's in the crowd. He's pouring beer on women. He's lighting cigarettes with people. It all eventually breaks down. D'Lo hits the low blow on Young for the win. Uncle Dave and I both gave this Uno star. Did you rate any of these?
Yeah, I gave it 1. It sucked.
Yeah, it severely sucked. Look, not that I was hankering for the Sandman to wrestle, but like he didn't do anything. He just walked around like a spare prick at the wedding. Like, what the hell, man? I know I'm borrowing another Cornettism, but good God.
I feel like this is what he did at WrestleMania 23 as well.
Like, it's pretty sad when even TNA is like, you know what, maybe stay on the apron.
We got David Young. We don't need you.
By the way, I was thinking because it just popped in my head. I was like, how could he smoke indoors there or whatever? But I just remembered, I know Kentucky at this time allowed you to smoke indoors. I don't think they outlawed that until I don't know, after 2010 sometime. So I'm assuming Tennessee also allowed you to smoke indoors. Yeah, share the cancer. But after the match, God, the baby faces go to drink beer together, but get jumped from behind because you got to have an afterbirth to this.
Yeah.
Mike Sanders, who I swear to God, I had no idea who it was.
Can you say his government name, please?
Oh, excuse me. Above average Mike Sanders.
Thank you.
He's not really good. He's not bad. But he's above average.
Yeah, that's what I say about myself. Anyways.
Dude, I swear to God, the way he looked and the way he was dressed here, he just looked like, like any guy going in to get a tall boy and a pack of smokes.
Yeah. And you just know he rolled up in an El Camino.
Yeah, right.
I don't know why. We had that same exact note, by the way, pretty much.
Right. Yeah, well, dude, I swear to God, at first I didn't recognize him. I didn't know who it was. And because he didn't look like this in WCW. Not that, he had a distinctive look or anything. But I thought it was Johnny
like just
Cashmere.
another cruiserweight jobber. So.
Right. I thought he was Johnny Cashmere from Ring of Honor. If anybody knows the Backseat Boys. And now that I say that, people need to go Google Johnny Cashmere. I swear it looks just like Mike Sanders right here.
Backseat Boys, what the hell?
It was Johnny Cashmere, Evan, I want to say Evan Courageous, and Trent Acid, Backseat Boys.
Like you need to be on acid to do this.
Right. The funny thing was they were all like different shades of white, whatever, and they had dreadlocks, and they came out to "What Up Gangsta" by 50 Cent.
They're all white guys, huh?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. But either way, Mike Sanders does come out here, and he helps hold the Sandman while Sonny Siaki canes him repeatedly. They then waste the big main eventers because Sting and Jeff Jarrett come out here to clean house.
Yeah.
Because
I'm looking at the timestamp. Like, this thing was over. They're going to jumpstart the main event now. I'm like, why are they?
Right. Why? And then David Young is the lucky candidate.
When they walked out, did you notice it looked like Sting would rather be anywhere else on earth but here? I was like, oh.
I didn't get that look on his face because, like, once he got into the action, he seemed like he was into it. But I don't know. He was like, same thing, smaller building. I was like, seriously, what's the difference between this and what he was doing, like, a year or 2 years ago in WCW? Nothing.
I bet you that church he built is bigger than this.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think his brother runs a pretty big-ass church down in Texas. But either way, yeah, so David Young is the lucky candidate to get the El Kabong from Jarrett here. Again, if people don't get the El Kabong reference, you're too young for this podcast. We go to... You get it, right?
This is when, I forget when Jeff Jarrett was a face, by the way.
Yeah, right. I was like, wait a minute, he's a face here? Like, threw me for a effing loop. But we go to commentary for a long, long time. And then Vince Russo comes out.
Whoa!
Oh, joy. Russo tells the crowd
at this point, I'm woken up finally because we're about to get something great.
Right. Well, he tells the crowd that his haircut costs more than all of their trailers. He then goes on about hating the southern United States. Yeah, that's great.
You know what's funny? I've heard him say the reason Cornette hates him is because he hates New Yorkers. And he hates southern United States. And Jim Cornette's southern. So doesn't that cancel out? Maybe she should shut the hell up.
He then puts over AJ Styles, saying that he's better than a ton of other legends. He cusses a bunch in the promo and then introduces AJ Styles to the crowd. He's cool and edgy, Greg, because he says shit a lot. Yeah. By the way, did you see this on their YouTube?
I watched it on another link.
Oh, okay. I don't understand, because on their YouTube, they bleep certain things out. Why did they allow anytime somebody said shit, it was cool, but if they said bitch, it was bleeped? Like,
that's an actual word for like a dog.
Yeah. Well, it's like, if you're going to bleep one, then both of them should probably be bleeped, or just, I don't know, it was effing stupid. And it was on pay-per-view, if I recall, so why are you bleeping anything?
Like a couple weeks ago on Dynamite, they bleeped jackass, but not shit. Good
God. Yeah, bro, we we got to have cage dances, man, but crass language. We can't let that slide.
You got morals, bro.
Yeah, right. Cuss? No. Boobs? Yes.
My life.
Anyway, I don't know if you had the same reaction here that I did, but AJ looks like an effing baby here, man.
Yep, it's the hair.
Yeah, the hair, that fashion that was incredibly early 2000s. Every dude wore a necklace, but the crowd chants for him, and he's a heel, so he gets angry about this. Whenever AJ insults the crowd, they cheer more. Mike TNA gets in the ring now and tells AJ that he's being brainwashed by Vince Russo. TNA says that AJ needs to do things the right way, and Russo argues over what the right way actually gets you in
Did
life.
you notice that it looked like Tanae wanted to like snap and just choke AJ?
Yeah.
Like he had this look on his face, like he insulted his mother or something.
Yeah, right. He also had that look on his face looking at Russo, but I can totally get it with Russo.
Right.
But D'Lo Brown now joins the party to confront AJ. D'Lo talks about his time back in WWE with Vince Russo, and it's funny to hear D'Lo act like he was a significant part of the Attitude Era.
Remember, Vince Russo technically had him kill a baby.
Oh, God. Right. Forgot about that. Yeah, it's like, dude, I mean, people know you, and you were, a decent mid-carder there for a while, but you weren't, like, significant, man. Like, oh, here comes D'Lo Brown. But anyway, and always got to bring it back to the Attitude Era and WCW. It's like, dude, just live in the now, man. But Russo steps in to say that he created D'Lo, and that's a hell of an accomplishment.
Wow.
And if he wants
You created
on the show,
D'Lo Brown?
I know. Forget about The Rock, man. D'Lo Brown. Hell yeah. But anyway, he says that if D'Lo wants a part on the show, which this whole thing didn't make any sense because D'Lo was literally in the opening match, but, whatever. But he said if he wants a slot on the show, he's got a slot open. He can be his little bitch. Great line. But D'Lo slaps Russo, and AJ beats him down. Raven now runs in to help D'Lo, and then Shane Douglas runs out to hit a belly-to-belly on Raven. You ever see an episode of South Park with the member berries?
No.
It's like, because they were going on about, like, why is all this old stuff coming back and getting popular, like Star Wars? And they'd pull out this thing of grapes, and they were member berries. And they'd be like, oh, remember Star Wars? Oh, it was fantastic. And, like, and they just kept, like, people kept eating them to, like, feel good about, like, nostalgic stuff, whatever. Like, all I can think of is, like, this whole segment. Oh, remember Attitude Era? Oh, remember ECW? Oh, yeah, I remember. This whole thing just sucked. But security now runs out. Security now runs out to separate them. Backstage, Goldilocks, I guess? Is that Goldilocks? They kept calling her Goldie.
It is, yeah.
Okay. I forgot what the hell she looked like. But Goldilocks interviews Tracy Brooks and Veronica. I've never seen Veronica a day in my life. But, hey, all these women are looking roll tide, man. That's all I can say. But Goldilocks says that she supports their efforts, and I guess what they're trying to do is to wrestle men, but the TNA board won't let them.
Right.
So they walk off, and then Eric Watts steps up.
Hell yeah!
That's Troy from Techno Team 2000.
All I could think of was Techno Team 2000.
Hell yeah, man! And that STF to Arn Anderson in the gas station parking lot. But
why do you always go back to that?
Because it was so effing lame. Like, you want to talk about, like, just bad TV, man. Like, that's like if you get into a fist fight and you try to lock in an ankle lock or something. Quick, you get the guy, you get somebody to sweep the leg, and it's like, I'm going to go for a figure four on this guy real quick. But anyway, he walks up and asks if Goldilocks took care of what they talked about. She says no. She's got to interview Kid Cash tonight. Watts says that will happen over his dead body. I mean, that could be arranged, but they never say what the hell they're talking about on the show, by the way.
That's TNA staple, dude.
Yeah. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Tune in next week, and we might tell you. Maybe not.
I don't want to tune into this.
Yeah. But anyway, yet more scripted backstage BS as we see Julio De Niro sitting against a fence while Alexis Lurie, the future Mickey James, asks what they're going to do. I don't know what she's talking about either. Like, what the hell are any of these people talking about? But CM Punk walks up and asks if he can join the gathering, but they say that Raven's in a bad mood, so don't ask him right now. They then...
Has any Raven group ever done anything? Why would you want to be in this group?
Right. The closest thing to success I can come up with is Raven's Nest in ECW. I mean, that was close to semi-successful, but other than that, nah. But they tell CM Punk that they're not sure if there's even going to be a gathering for long, and Punk claims that there will always be a gathering. Had to get it in there. Just like, what the F? By the way, Punk's nipples are pierced here, which adds an extra level of weird to this.
I didn't catch that. Shows me where your eyes are going. Okay.
They were like big-ass hoops coming out of his nipples, man. Like, kind of hard to miss. I was like, ugh. Hey, it's the skinny Prince Albert. There you go. Up next, we might...
I don't think Prince Albert's a nipple piercing, is it?
No, but he did have his nipples pierced in WWF. He had everything pierced, but yeah. No, Prince Albert is a little more south. But we might actually get a wrestling match here, Greg. You know, by God, somebody effed up. Yeah, right? But it's Chris Sabin defending the NWA X Division title against Paul London. Goes just shy of 8 minutes. CM Punk comes out halfway through this match and sits in the corner like Raven. Because, we can't just have a match on this card. That can't happen, Greg.
No, there's got to be drama.
Yeah, there's got to be interference. There's got to be ref bumps. There's got to be bullshit. Can't just
jump start.
Can't just freaking, put on a headlock and wrestle, man. Like, F me.
Me, right?
But behind the referee's back, CM Punk hits the Raven effect on London and leaves. Cool. Sabin then hits the Future Shock on London for the win. Uncle Dave gave this 3.5 stars. I gave it 2.5. What say you?
2.
It was fine. Not as good as I had hoped, but then again, it is TNA, and Russo is booking this, so...
Bro, nobody cares about wrestling, bro.
Right. Backstage, Goldilocks interviews New Jack. Surprised he didn't call her Little White Girl. But New Jack
he did.
said,
You probably just didn't hear it.
Yeah, and then somebody called him the N-word and he stabbed him. But
justifiably,
maybe that's why Mike Sanders got it here, because he dropped the N-word on New Jack. But New Jack says that he doesn't give a damn about Mike Sanders. I mean, join the club. But this isn't WCW, and tonight he's going to hurt Sanders. Shark Boy then comes up, and New Jack says he doesn't have time to play with him tonight. He's beaten him at every game they've played. Shark Boy then shows that he's wearing foam Hulk hands. New Jack gets interested and says that when he's done whooping Mike Sanders' ass, he'll come back and whoop Shark Boy's ass with the Hulk hands.
Yeah, this is a real segment.
I just have one question for you, Greg.
What the fuck?
Well, if you're going to have a shark mask on, you got to have Hulk hands.
I mean, it's only logical. Like, duh. Like, what the?
Oh, man.
So the gimmick was Shark Boy and New Jack were playing games against each other each week in the back. What? Why?
I once heard a cornetism. He goes, "You when WWE silly, it's still on a professional level." So what's the deal here?
This just doesn't. Oh God. Well, you know what? I asked a logical question, so.
Me, right?
Yeah.
But
All
Kid
the
Cash.
way.
Exactly. Kid Cash now walks up to a fence behind where New Jack was being interviewed, and he calls for, quote, the scary dude. He thanks the guy for watching his back last week and asks if he got the cookies he left him, and then says that he needs help one more time. He asks if the guy is on the same page as him, and a beer bottle comes flying at the cage. Cash says that he'll take that as a yes, and then walks off. Obviously, this is a piss.
This is like one huge drunken sideshow on a bar.
You don't say. Yeah. Well, and Greg, because we're going to find out later that he needs his back watched against Eric Watts.
Right.
Because,
Hey, he's got pull.
Yeah, if there's one guy that you need some backup with, it's Eric Watts.
He'll get you, man.
Yeah. Get you in a 0-star match.
Get you to that La La Land you're dreaming to go to. Cure for Insomnia.
Yeah, right. Well, up next, it is Mike Sanders versus New Jack in a
who?
Go ahead.
You have to
I
stop
already said
making these errors. Above
already said
average, Mike Sanders.
Yeah, that guy. I don't know if he actually called himself that here.
Well, I don't know about here, but he did.
Yeah, at one point. But here he's just Mike Sanders. So he's not even above average anymore. But either way,
that suit on, he's not. Oh, that suit out of the clothes.
Yeah, he looks like he's about to perform a heist in GTA Online. But it's Mike Sanders.
I'd never dress my guy like that.
Versus New Jack in a hard 10 tournament semifinals match.
Right.
How can an above average guy be a hard 10?
Reasons, Greg. I don't know. But this goes about 5.5 minutes. Yeah. Well, Sanders comes out and then hides so he can jump New Jack with a trash can lid from behind. So they don't explain this stuff, at least not that I caught. But it seems like the whole point of this is to score 10 hits on your opponent with a weapon.
They didn't say that? I was trying to figure out what the hell we were watching, honestly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then they also explain that if you put your opponent...
This is a Russoism. I remember there was a match in WCW where they had to handcuff someone to a cage and beat him. That's the way to win.
Oh, yeah. They had a similar thing like that to TNA. We reviewed that in the last TNA show we did, one of the lockdowns, where to eliminate a guy, you had to handcuff him to the cage. The hell was him with him and handcuffing people to cages, man? Bro, we're going to beat you senseless, bro. But either way, it's also, by the way, you get 5 points if you put somebody through a table. So, yeah. So freaking stupid.
You don't say.
Mike Sanders is bleeding.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody!
And I didn't even see where he started bleeding. It just kind of happened. Shark Boy comes out.
Well, that would involve you paying attention to this match, though, to be fair.
Yeah. Shark Boy comes out with the Hulk hands to cheer New Jack on. In the end, Shark Boy gives New Jack one of the Hulk hands. God. New Jack punches Sanders with
That's a real sentence. He gives him the Hulk hands.
New Jack punches Sanders with the Hulk hand, and Sanders falls to a table, giving New Jack the win. God. Uncle Dave gave this a half a star. I give it a 1.5 stars. Let's say you. Yeah. Before the match, and I was like, man, New Jack has never said anything more truthful in his life. He said, I don't know no wrestling holds. I don't know no headlocks. I know about whooping ass. Like, all right. I mean, no lies detected, I guess.
I mean, yeah, can't get mad at the truth, right?
He knows about stabbing fools.
Stabbing white boys.
We now get a highlight package for Trinity, who shows us that not the Trinity that's currently in Impact Wrestling, but she's showing us that she does Hollywood stunt work, drives fast cars recklessly, and she poses in bikinis. A hell of a woman there, man. And she's Italian.
She's Italian as hell, by the way.
Hell yeah, she is. She's one of them that you got to make sure you're converted to Catholicism before you get with her, man.
That's not all I would convert.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell that means. I just wanted to say it.
She's one of the, she wants her men to swear on their mother's grave, and they're not even dead yet. Okay.
Hey, I got a meatball for you. How you doing?
Yeah. Hey, if you don't make your spaghetti sauce at home, the hell are you doing? Get the hell out, man. Not real sauce. It's like a mutual friend of ours saying, you got to make the tortillas at home.
Work that is hell, no.
Yeah. I saw one of the Modelo commercials where they're doing like the corn tortillas. First of all, I don't like corn tortillas. I do the flour ones. But I was like, man, that's like a lot of work, man. It's like, I'll just let's go to
We'll say something about Flowered Up.
Good God. But up next, it is.
I don't know why. I just had to say it.
Oh, man. But up next, it is Juiced Incredible taking on Jerry Lynn.
Yeah, about 5 years too late.
Yeah, right. This goes for 2 minutes, 43 seconds. And
see my previous statement.
Yeah, right. Well, how dare we get a real match here? They got to keep this one under 3 minutes because F them. You got to get more time in for backstage BS, man. Can't be having real matches out here. In the end, Credible goes for That's Incredible. Jerry Lynn rolls through with it, and then Credible rolls through with it again as he holds onto the ropes to pin Jerry Lynn. Uncle Dave gave this a dud. I gave it a star and a half. Say you.
I don't think I've ever seen a bad Jerry Lynn match until now. One.
Hey, there's a first time for everything, man. There you go. Well, Jerry Lynn instantly jumps Just Incredible, and they brawl into the crowd until security splits them up.
Well, rumor has it Just Incredible assaulted his album.
Good God. Silver Side Up sucked. How dare you?
Oh, no, their new one had come out like this year, I believe.
We now go backstage with the 3 Live crew. I don't know if they were the 3 Live crew yet, but that's what I'm calling them. BG James interviews Ron Killings and Conan. He does like a comedy segment pretending that he's Mike Tenay. And none of this would fly at all nowadays.
I was thinking, man, this is getting heavily edited or not even airing.
Yeah, because James jokingly asks Killings about fried chicken. Because he goes, let me ask you, why do you like fried chicken? Like, fried chicken? What are you talking about fried chicken? He's like, why do you like it? He's like, well, you see, you take the chicken, your mama. And then he talks about how Conan is a big star south of the border, whatever, beloved in Mexico. And then he asks him what that Taco Bell dog is really like. Oh, God. And then, because this is just like in his back pocket of, insults to always go to, Conan throws out a gay joke at him. He calls him a fudge packer. Do we say that?
I don't know.
Well, that's what he said. It's on the show.
Billy Eichner has said it on Conan O'Brien's show multiple times, but I don't know if he gets a pass or what. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, maybe he's a fudge delivery guy and he has to pack it real tight in the back of his truck. We don't know.
Sure.
But either way, at the end of the segment, all I was thinking was,
what the fuck?
Yeah. I should have held that because we've been getting highlight packages. I'd say highlight packages, whatever.
Yeah,
they thought it was.
Whatever.
Yeah. They thought it were highlights. But they show one now, and the one they show, we see the midget wrestler Puppet whacking off in a trash can. How is that a highlight?
It's a highlight of Russo's night. You never know.
Oh my gosh. Bro, I get off on that, bro. It's just I saw this come up and I was like,
what the fuck?
I know you use that now twice in like 10 seconds.
Exactly.
That's not good.
No, this whole show, man. And you want to see a match that's WTF. Up next, it is Kenzo Suzuki taking on Perry Saturn. Kenzo Suzuki, who we covered a couple of weeks ago.
Let me just stop you real quick and remind everyone this is an anniversary show.
Yep. This is like a big deal. Oh, we've been in business a whole year. Yeah.
And this is the best we got.
They're giving the middle finger to the fans. There you go. It's normally, to thank the fans for keeping you around all these years, paying to come out and see you. You give them a great show. Give them, something cool. Nope. You're giving them Kenzo Suzuki versus Perry Saturn. 4.5 minutes.
You've now reviewed Kenzo Suzuki matches twice in this month.
Yep. I just now realized this is pre-WWE. I completely skipped on that. So by the time he goes to WWE and sucks, he'd already sucked it up elsewhere.
By the time he goes there, it sucks. Well,
I mean, you know what? Good for him, man. He sucked this bad and still got a contract. So cool. Whatever. Get that paper, man. But during this match, we flip over to Spanish commentary for no reason whatsoever. My question is, because it was like, we told you before about the Spanish commentators. Well, here they are now. Let's listen to them for a bit. Who the hell, listening to this in English, is going to hear this and go, oh, crap, I need to flip over to SAP?
Not me, but it might have been someone.
Yeah, like, what the hell? But
now, this has happened on Raw and SmackDown before, but by accident.
Yeah, right. No, this was on purpose because they freaking like sent it to them.
Yeah, they tell you.
Yeah, like why? Why? But not even this can get a damn finish because Just Incredible randomly runs his ass out there to cane Saturn in the head.
I had more fun seeing him here than his last match, so I'll say that.
Well, Jerry Lynn now runs out behind him because apparently he's just like chasing his ass around the building. And a big
Russo
brawl breaks out. Right? A big brawl breaks out between all four men, and the ref just says, "F it," and he throws it out.
That was probably a shoot, too. I ain't doing this anymore. It's stupid.
Yep. Uncle Dave gives it a negative star. I gave it a star and a half. What say you?
I didn't even rate it because I felt like it was masquerading as a match that turned into a segment.
And how dare you call yourself a match? A-hole.
I don't care that I heard a bell. Don't mean nothing.
This all sucks. Whole thing sucked. Now backstage, Goldilocks is standing by with AJ Styles. Goldilocks says that she has a hard time swallowing what happened last week, and AJ says, "You had a hard time swallowing? That's not what I heard."
Right.
Yikes.
Hey, Christian boy, by the way.
Now, was this hard for the Christian AF guy to say? He says he believes Vince Russo is doing what's best for him. Listen, man.
He always
Vince
does
Russo,
what's best for business.
Yeah, listen, man. Vince Russo doesn't do what's best for anyone, including himself. So, wrong.
He's saying?
Saying that he sucks.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this whole thing. Like, AJ was always, like, it's not like he was like a newfound Christian that popped up, whatever. But he was a part of SEX, Sports Entertainment Extreme. And then he's saying stuff like this. And it's like, was this painful afterwards? Did you have to go take a shower and then go?
No, the check cleared.
You have to go call your pastor afterwards and have a heart-to-heart with him?
Some of the money goes in the collection plate.
Yeah. Well, before the next match, we see all three members of Triple X beating down America's Most Wanted backstage before entering. In the ring, Christopher Daniels says that they will continue to be tag team champions, the world tag team champions of the world, and spread the gospel of sports entertainment around the world. He then gets over his upcoming trip to Japan. Cool. And I thought, hey, here's a match finally. About damn time.
Swerve!
But it is Triple X of Christopher Daniels and Elix Skipper with Low Key in their corner, defending the NWA World Tag Team titles against America's Most Wanted, Chris Harris and James Storm. This goes for 7 minutes. If I had to critique this match, damn near every move led to a cover and a partner breaking it up. After a while, it was like, are you just hitting finishers at this point? Also,
like an 8-man tag schmoz where everyone gets it. Use a finisher.
Right. Also, tags are meaningless here. People are just in and out all over the effing place. In the end, Low-Key slides a title to Daniels. Daniels misses and gets the last call from Storm. He then gets hit with a death sentence. Right before they can win, however, Low-Key yanks the referee out of the ring, and Skipper blasts Storm with the title. This allows him to pin Storm for the win. Uncle Dave gave this 3.5 stars. I gave it 2.5. I said it was average. What say you?
I gave it 1. It sucked.
That was exciting for a bit. I did enjoy most of it. And I'll say this, that ending I didn't like, but if no other match had an effed up ending, and it was just this, doing that, I'd have been fine with it because it actually sets up something in the feud for later on. So I would have been like, okay, I could deal with that. But every match has a BS finish. Every one. We get footage now of Mike Tenay sitting down with, Jerry Jarrett. Well, you know. I was honestly shocked that the topic of chicken salad never came up once in this interview.
That you heard.
I was a little disappointed, I must say. He's like, look, Mike, well, don't ask me about my mom's chicken salad recipe while we're on camera, because, it's a family secret, huh?
Good Lord. You got it all in there.
Right.
Giggity.
I laughed my ass off when Jeff Jarrett on one of his first podcasts, Conrad was like, what are we going to talk about? Whatever. He's like, you stick around. He's like, I might give the world my grandma's famous chicken salad recipe. I popped for that one. I'm like, okay, that one's awesome. I respect you for that one. But I love how Jarrett is incredibly honest here, and he's honest enough to admit that there's zero comparison between the NWA of 2003 and the dominant NWA of the territory days. When asked about Vince Russo, say what?
Well, what else was he going to say?
A lot of people would lie. They'd be like, "Well, it's doing gangbusters, and with TNA, it's back in prime time." It's like no, like at least he's not lying to us here. Like we're complete idiots. Although I felt like an idiot for watching the show.
Hey, you did this.
I did. I inflict a lot of punishment upon us, man.
Why the hell I talk to you still sometimes?
The Bible says, "Revenge is mine," saith the Lord. Well, maybe he's enacting his revenge on us both through me somehow. I'm just the catalyst for his vengeance.
He can control your idiot mind better than mine, apparently.
I don't know. But when asked about Vince Russo, Jerry says that he hasn't formed his opinions yet, but at the same time, he sees he sees a weird obsession with him and his son Jeff. Yeah, that's to say the least. Maybe he wanted that butt, man. We don't know.
He does have that long, flowing blonde hair.
Exactly. He was a pretty man. Apparently, he is a pretty man. Have you seen his wife?
She's now in AEW.
Yeah, because that's what that show needs. Karen Jarrett.
Well, Ross got Chelsea Green. They need a Karen, too.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got a Karen on both channels. There you go. We now go to Eric Watts in the ring. And basically, he claims that he is Mr. Ratings and Mr. Explosion.
Mr. Electricity.
Yeah. My mind wanted to explode watching this. He says that the politics of the TNA have gotten bad, and his man Eric.
TNA?
Yeah, my bad. You get it. But he says that his man Eric is getting there soon. Not sure who he's talking about. He then calls out the mighty midget, Kid Cash. Yeah.
Oh, I think that wouldn't fly today.
Right. So I just now thought of this. When he says, my man Eric, is he talking like Bischoff?
I don't know.
I'm like
Eric Watts, Eric Young.
Yeah, I'm like, Eric Young? It's a little young. It's a little early for that. But Kid Cash comes out, taping his fists. Cool. Watts keeps making short jokes about him, and then asks what it is with Kid Cash beating women. Okay.
Wow.
Cash
was that a thing?
I don't know. I don't get any of this because then Kid Cash owns up to it. He says that he loves beating women here in Nashville. What? And then he says he's going to.
My first thing when I'm hearing all this, I'm like, is this like a shot at Kid Rock who he's a play on, or what? What am I missing here?
I don't know. But he owns up to it. Yeah, I love beating women. Is this a euphemism? You're the baby face here. Yeah, because he's the baby face there. Unless Tennessee's like, yeah, smack that bitch.
Oh man! And you a couple days ago were telling me how great that state is. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, it is. That's why I'm like,
yeah, clearly.
I don't remember when I'm down there. I don't remember anybody being pro woman beater. But maybe I just didn't go to that part of Tennessee. Either way, he then says that he's going to make Eric Watts his bitch.
What the fuck?
That encompasses all of it, by the way, just all of this. But this is also, by the way, the second time in the night someone calls someone else a bitch, and it leads to a brawl. Did you
That's a
get
trigger
that?
word. I didn't realize that till you just said it, but yeah, it's a trigger word.
It's like, dude, are people not? And I know what your response is going to be, but it's like, is nobody watching the monitor backstage or checking on this?
That's an easy layup. I'm good.
They don't even want to watch this show, and they're on it. But on the Tron, we now see Goldilocks is locked in the cage area from earlier with the masked man, who is Abyss, but we don't know that yet. She's crying and begging for Eric Watts. Watts runs to the back, and Cash jumps him from behind. This scene ends.
I'm sorry,
with...
I can't get over crying and begging for Eric Watts. I think that's what. I think it's what Bill thought about Eric Watts. Oh, everyone's gonna be wanting this kid.
Yeah, right. Well, let me just tell you all, this scene ends with 0 resolution.
The scene or the show? Are you jumping ahead? Sorry.
Yes. But this, like, okay, and I know you're going to be like, why are you asking logical questions again? But I got to ask this. How did Abyss get her in there and then lock the padlock on the outside?
I didn't even pick up on that. Oh, holy crap. I don't know.
Yeah, and where's the key, man? Or is there a key?
Inquiry minds want to know.
And then, this kind of goes with Kid Cash. Like, yeah, I love beating women. Like, yeah, I'm going to leave her in there to get touched by that weird guy with a mask. Like, what? For God's sake. And what was she doing that pissed him off so bad that it's like, yeah, you can have her. God. All this is bad. All of it. This is maybe the worst segment of the night, and that's a crowded field. But, when you throw Eric Watts in there, that's a damn near guaranteed thing to be the worst of the night.
Wow.
But we go to commentary for a bit before America's Most Wanted charge out and say that next week they'll take on Triple X for the tag team titles in a steel cage. Everyone cheers and celebrates.
You don't want to have that steel cage match on this show.
Right. Well, my thing is everybody cheers and celebrates, whatever. But I got to ask another logical question here. How can they just come out and be like, yeah, we're making a match, and you have to abide by it because we said so? How? Why?
I'm not ignoring you. I'm just looking for an answer. I don't know.
What's to stop Triple X from saying, no, thanks. We're good.
Because they're not America's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They never explain this, people.
Getting back to why are you asking illogical questions again?
Yeah, I know. Well, I guess that brings me back to
me, right?
We're going to take our second to last break. When we come back, we're going to get into all things main event. Thank God it's almost over. Right after this.
Follow the Main Event Marks at facebook.com/Main Event Marks Pod, on Twitter at Main Event _Marks, and on Instagram at Main Event _Marks and at Main Event Collector.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. My name is Thomas, and what's your name?
I'm Alan. Yeah. We're brothers.
That's right.
Yeah. Same mother and father.
Your room was...
we shared the room.
Shared a room?
We shared the room.
Thought I knew your face.
Yeah, we go way back, mate. Yeah.
We should do a podcast then.
We have.
We do a podcast?
We do a podcast.
What's it called?
The Broadcast. Yeah, that was planned.
Yeah, well.
What do we do?
Well, we cover all different things in the world of pop culture. We're talking about comic books, we're talking about professional wrestling, and we're talking about movies. Go back and watch classic retro wrestling events, the likes of WWE, WCW, and if you do like that, you can check us out on Apple iTunes, also on Podbean, Anchor, and on Podknife. Also check us out on Twitter at The Broadcast. That's BROKAST. I nearly stuffed up the ending.
Hey, it's all right. Good on you.
Yeah. Instagram also at The Broadcast Podcast.
Remember, we don't spell it with a C. We spell it with a K.
Sorry, mate.
Take it easy.
Main Event Marks are available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. Find all of our links on our link tree at linktr.ee/Main Event Marks.
And we're back. AJ Styles comes out for the main event with Vince Russo, who's still stealing Sting's gimmick of carrying around a black baseball bat. Like, it's not even a wood-colored one. It's not an aluminum one. Nope, it's a black one, just like Sting. And he's done it since WCW. Like, obviously he can get away with it because he's the writer. But, like, dude, how did Sting not just, like, put him up against the wall? Be like, quit stealing my gimmick, a-hole. A lot of wrestlers get kind of protective about that stuff. Anyway, well, I guess that would require Sting to watch Russo's segments and know what the hell is going on, and nobody wants to do that.
I'm watching it. It's probably not even watching right now.
Right. Like, Sting, you're going out there. Oh, for what? You're in the main event. Oh, right. But Russo grabs a microphone and says that AJ's mystery partner is a degenerate, and he's the scum of the earth, and a lot like Russo. I was with you until that last part there. Now, not so much. I need to see. He needs to show his work here. How is he like Russo? But either way, Russo claims that this man will be in his corner, even though he's not even wrestling. Though he's in AJ's corner. I know semantics, but seriously, like, it just felt like Russo's like, I'm the star here. AJ's just, the champ, whatever. Who gives a shit? But he finally introduces Sean Waltman, a.k.a. Six-Pac. And this is AJ Styles with Vince Russo and Six-Pac versus Jeff Jarrett and Sting in just under 12 minutes. So it takes Waltman like a full minute to come out, to the point of where commentary is confused about whether he's actually going to show up.
That was an accurate question, though, don't you think?
Yeah, it definitely is. But it's like, was he in catering and they're like, yo, Sean, you're on? He's like, oh, crap.
I didn't notice him tying his boots when he came to the ring, so I don't know if he was fumbling or something.
Well, here's another point. It's nice to see that he's taking this so seriously, wrestling in a tracksuit and all.
Yep.
Like, yeah, this isn't like the main event of a show or nothing. But
sure, we'll call this a show.
Yeah, loosely. When the ref gets distracted, X-Pac cracked Sting in the back with Russo's ball bat. This is only a cutoff move, though, because why would that be the finish? That's stupid. The ref gets bumped because, of course, Russo hits... Oh, man. Jarrett hits Styles with the stroke and pins him, but Russo jumps in and hits Jarrett with the back in the back of the head, or in the back, whatever. Raven now runs out to beat Russo down in the corner. Styles goes after Raven and is about to get DDT'd, but Shane Douglas runs out and attacks Raven again. They brawl up to the ramp while AJ Styles jumps off the top rope and gets kicked by Jarrett. He gets caught and eats another stroke. Meanwhile, Sting uses a chair on Six-Pac like a babyface. The referee finally wakes up. Jarrett hits a stroke on Styles off the second rope and pins him to win. Buried, man. Uncle Dave gave this 2 3/4 stars. I gave it dose. What say you?
I gave it 1. It was a mess.
Yeah, it's like, let's get everybody and their mother in here. And then, like, I'm not one of them, like I don't like throwing around the word buried. All right? Like, just because you lose doesn't mean you got buried. But he is the brand new NWA World Champion. So he eats 3 strokes here. One of them off the second rope. Looks like a complete dork. And he loses.
Right.
What do you not get about this?
Yeah, got to keep that shine on Jeff Jarrett.
I'm pissed now.
But Douglas and Raven brawl back into the ring because, you got to see more of it. While Russo chokes out Jarrett with his baseball bat. That is not a euphemism.
Oh, man. Yeah, that takes me back.
Oh,
no, there was a, what was it? It was Jericho and Nick Gage, right? Yeah. And Jericho, instead of grabbing the pizza cutter or something like that, he grabs the bat and chokes him with it. He goes, yeah, don't hit a guy in the back, choke him with it.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Oh, my God. But Sting pulls Russo out of the ring, and Vince goes running for his life. Jarrett and Raven go face-to-face in the ring, and Sting separates them before they all hold their hands up together in victory as the show closes. What a damn mess.
So my last note for this is, what the hell are they celebrating?
That the show's over. They can all go home. It's over, boys. Go home. Good God. This show just... Ugh, it was worse than I thought it would be. I had some hope for at least a watchable show. That hope was quickly dashed. But we got to take our last break here. On the other end of this, getting into the final ratings time. And we'll tell you what's coming up in the future on the podcast right after this.
Follow the Main Event Marks at facebook.com/Main Event Marks Pod, on Twitter at Main Event _Marks, and on Instagram at Main Event _Marks and at Main Event Collector.
What's up, everybody? I am the hardest part of the ring, the host of the Apron Bump podcast. Ugh, another wrestling podcast. How many times can I listen to fans tell me who needs a push, who doesn't need a push, who brings Vince's coffee these days? Enough! The Apron Bump is about the journey. It's about nostalgia. It's about discovering new forms of wrestling to really tickle your pickle as a wrestling fan. The podcast brings you reviews of wrestling events all over the world, whether it's WWF, WWE, WCW, ECW. We even cover the golden eras of Ring of Honor, Progress, TNA, and more promotions in the future as well. New episodes every Wednesday. Bump Day, yeah? Go to apronbump.com or go to your favorite podcast platform or YouTube and subscribe today for the most diverse, fan-friendly wrestling podcast in the world. I'm Hard.
Main Event Marks are available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. Find all of our links on our link tree at linktr.ee/Main Event Marks.
And we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Come on, man. It's the end of the show. You got to get into it. Come on. This show, man. And you got to think, they made people pay to see this. This was on pay-per-view. Yikes.
Yeah, but the problem is all their shows are on pay-per-view at this point.
Right. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if you're making people pay to see this crap, the least you could do is put on good shows each week. No. This. Oh, God. It sucked ass, man. This is like Nitro 2000 level.
What do those things have in common?
Yep. It couldn't be a certain New Yorker that says bro a lot.
Bro!
The final ratings time here. Internet Movie Database did not rate this one. I wonder why. CageMatch.net gave it 3.5 out of 10. I gave it a 5.5 out of 10 for an F-. What say you?
Solid F-. In the toilet.
Suck. Yeah. Flush it down.
This might have been one of the worst shows we've ever done.
Yeah. And this was and we categorized this as a bonus.
Oh, thank God. This is not one of the ones we rely on.
Yeah. I feel bad, everybody. I honestly do. I feel bad about this. This was
I feel bad too about throwing poor Troy under the bus here, but this has nothing to do with me.
Right. It sucked. But,
although I didn't actually protest it either. I mean, you said, yeah, all right, I'll watch it.
I feel like we've only had one good show this whole month, and we're closing out the show. Right. Yeah, this past Wednesday, just a couple days ago, that was a really good show, and that was to soften the blow for this. So there you go. But yeah, King of the Ring 94, suck. Great American Bash 2004, suck. Great American Bash 1990, pretty good. This show, suckiest of them all. And then next week, I have to watch it back. I don't remember this being a stellar show. June 28th, close out the month of June. We're coming at you with WWE Money in the Bank 2018. I wanted to bring you something more current. That's only 5 years ago.
I'm going to tell you it's decent. So
yeah.
It's not a piece of crap.
Well, Daniel Bryan and Big Cass go over a quarter of an hour in their match, so that alone has me just...
It's Brian Danielson and Big Bill.
Yeah. Hell yeah. But AEW needs to snatch him up so we can get a replay of that match. Run it back.
They're both on AEW.
Oh, is he in AEW? Okay.
Yeah, he opened the damn show last night.
Oh, yay. Yeah, well,
With
everybody.
pockets.
Well, that shows everybody how much I actually watch Dynamite, which is never.
I still question myself as to why I do, man. It's so bad.
Well, either way, that closes out the month of June. Real quick, I just want to tell you we do have a lot better stuff coming for you in July. July 5th, the day after the United States' birthday, we're bringing you ECW. You excited?
Can't tell if you're trolling or not.
Well, we're bringing you ECW Heat Wave 2000.
2000 was their best year, so
yeah, they had some watchable shows then.
It'll be a lot better than this crap, I'll tell you that. But I mean, I don't know what that's saying.
The main event is a Stairway to Hell match for the ECW title. Just Incredible defends against Tommy Dreamer. Rob Van Dam takes on Scotty Anton. So
I just turned on him.
Yeah. Hey, half of that match is talented. So
Rob Van Dam just couldn't get it together, dude. So it's not his fault.
Yeah, right. Rhino defends the ECW World Television title against the Sandman. Tajiri, Mikey Whipwreck, Little Guido, and Psychosis are in a four-way dance. Yeah, so there's some stuff on the show. We even get Jerry Lynn versus Steve Corino, and guess who's in Corino's corner, man?
Yeah.
We get a Jack Victory sighting. Hell yeah.
Is this gonna... Oh, this is July, right? So we just passed 3 years, right? Of this pod.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
And I think we've had Jack Victory on at least once a month in 3 years.
Yeah. Hey, man, he's got to get his high spot in. Still a segment again. Yep, there you go. But the opening match, so at least they keep it short. It's Big Sally Graziano taking on Balls Mahoney, but it only goes for 2.5 minutes. So
Big Sal and Balls. That sounds like a weird tag team.
If they teamed up, they'd be Big Balls. But either way, happy birthday, America. Here's this. July 12th. I don't remember this one off the top of my head, like if it was any good. 1994 was hit and miss. We're bringing you WCW Bash the Beach 1994.
It's a one-match show.
Yeah, it's Hogan and Ric Flair for the WCW title.
Ric Flair's the heel. Hogan comes out with Shaquille O'Neal and Mr. T and the whole entourage.
Yep. Yeah, Bash the Beach 1994. That's Hogan's very first ever pay-per-view. Forward to that one. We're bringing you some decent stuff, I would say. July 19th, that's double main event week. We got WWF In Your House 2. Did that one even have a tagline, or is it just 2?
I think that was the Lumberjacks, if I remember right.
Yes. Okay.
That is correct.
Yeah, the main event is Sid and Diesel for the WWF title, Lumberjack match.
What about
so,
Sid?
There you go. Owen Hart and Yokozuna defend the tag titles against the Allied Powers. Shawn Michaels and Jeff Jarrett for the IC title. So, yeah.
That match is actually amazing. So, what's that?
Yeah, it was this. All in all, this is a decent show for a 1995 show, that is. So, there you go. The roadie opens
that
up
bar
with
is
1, 2, 3
not only
kid.
on the floor, it's in hell, dude. So,
that is correct.
Our bonus show, we're bringing you a Nitro from... I thought it was... I marked down July 17th, but I'm thinking it's July 18th, 2000. I don't remember the significance of this. It might have just been that 6-man ladder match on the card. So I know you and I were going through Nitros from July, and we landed on that one. So that's all I know. I don't remember anything past that, but it is July 18th. I don't know why I put 17th. But that's a July bonus show. There's a 6-man tag for the Young Dragons versus 3 count.
Young Dragons.
Was it pronounced Young?
Dragons? Yeah.
Well, it was a J. It was a J. I don't know. I speak English, bro.
Bro, nobody cares about Japanese people, bro.
There's U.S. title tournament going on that night. So, right. And Goldberg and Steiner are in the main event. So, there's that. So, yeah, there's like a one-night tournament for the U.S. title. And This is the rise of Lance Storm, so there's that.
AKA the only good thing Russo ever did in WCW.
Pretty much. But then we're wrapping up the month, ladies and gents, with Bash of the Beach 1998. Took place at the Cox Arena in San Diego, California. Giggity. The main event was Hollywood Hogan and Dennis Rodman taking on DDP and Karl Malone. That was a big thing at that time. It's funny that the Goldberg...
It's crazy that they're both off of the NBA Finals at this point.
Yeah, right. It's just added more to it, man. But we get basketball stars and football stars all on the same card because the Giant takes on Kevin Green. We get a Cruiserweight title match, TV title match, World title match, a Ravens rules match. That's going to be interesting. And Eddie takes on Chavo Guerrero in a hair versus hair match.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. But anyway, that does it for us. Yeah, thank you for joining me today, Greg.
Yeah, thanks for doing this to me.
You're welcome. You're always welcome. And we will see you all this next Wednesday, wrapping up June on the 28th with WWE Money in the Bank 2018.